All right, so we are doing a little bit different Facebook Live tonight. I am Dr. Heather Moore, owner of Total Performance Physical Therapy. I am going to kind of walk you through a infographic that I have made. We are going to post this on our website and it will be on our Facebook page. So if you need to look at this again, you can certainly refer to those resources. It's www.totalperformancept.com or Total Performance Physical Therapy. We are going on our Facebook page. So let's talk to return to running after injury. This is something that a lot of people always ask me about, and we see a lot of people who unfortunately are trying to get back into running after they've been injured. This could be a traumatic injury. This could be an injury that's just occurred because of compensation, when you usually have no idea how it got there. But we are going to talk about how we come back from any of those things. So what we are going to discuss is, it's going to kind of give you a little bit of step-by-step plan. Before we get into it, I want to just go over a few things. It is important to increase the frequency and duration before the intensity. So don't try and ramp up everything at once. It's not going to work and you're going to break again. So you want to make sure that you are really slowly increasing duration, slowly increasing frequency. Once you kind of get those where they need to be, then worry about increasing that intensity. But the quicker you try and ramp up that intensity, the more likely you'll wind up in some problems. So the program I'm going to go over today is based on kind of somebody who runs 6 days a week for 60 minutes. Now that's a lot of running. But it just made things simple to go by. You adjust this as you see fit and as your running requires you to. So week 1 and 2. So you're going to start basically running half the days for half the time. So if you ran 6 days, you'd run for 60 minutes, you're going to 3 days for 30 minutes. If you ran 3 days for 30 minutes, you're going to run basically 1.5 days. So you're going to run 1 day for 15 minutes and then 1 day for about 8 minutes. You want to really just back off and slowly ease into it. Now that doesn't mean that's all the exercise you want to do. You want to replace the days that you work out or that you would used to run with still maintaining some cardio or strength training, something along those lines. But you want to make sure that the pace that you're at is about 90 seconds slower than your 10K pace. So don't go back and try and do anything crazy. Go back to where you start. Look at a 10K that you've done. If you haven't done a 10K, a 5K, just slow that pace down about 90 seconds. And that's where you want to start jogging. It's not going to be a run. It's going to be a jog. So the first day, you're going to do run for 1 minute and walk for 1 minute. If you're only running 2 days a week, you're just not going to do that day 3. Okay. So you're going to do run for 1 minute, walk for 1 minute, day 1. Day 2, you're going to do run for 90 seconds and then walk for a minute. Day 3, you're going to do walk for 2 minutes and then run for 2 minutes, walk for 1 minute. You want to make sure that you're taking at least 24 to 48 hours in between each day that you run, whether you run 1 day, 2 days, I don't care. Make sure you run, take that time off because it's important to assess, did you feel okay? Did you have injury? Did something creep up in the meantime? Make sure that you are completely feeling good by the time you start that run. You want to stay on this for about 2 weeks. Once you're basically 2 weeks at where you want to be and you're doing all of that, the goal is to increase to that 2-minute run and 1 minute walk. So if you're only doing 2 days, in the second week you do 90-second run, 1 minute walk, and then you do the 2-minute run and the 1 minute walk. Then you're going to go to weeks 3 and 4. You're going to progress only to the stage if in that first 2 weeks, all the running and walking you're doing produces no pain. So if you don't have any pain, you can you can progress to this weeks 3 and 4. Stage 1 may take you 4 weeks. It's okay. So you're going to progress to this stage only if you're able to walk pain-free. So you're going to do this again. You're going to do this 3 days a week if you're used to running 6 days for 30 minutes. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to increase the run-walk ratios. Again, you're not increasing the duration, you're not increasing the frequency, and you're not increasing the intensity. This is more for running, getting the time on your legs. So you're going to run for 2 minutes and walk for 1 minute. Day 2, you're going to run for 3 minutes and walk for 1 minute. And day 3, you're going to walk for 4 minutes. and run for 1 minute. So super important that you understand where where your limits lie. Now, let's say you get to day 2 and you can only run 3 minutes and walk for 1 minute. You're going to just stay there, and you can stay there for 2 or 3 weeks until your body gets comfortable and it doesn't have any pain after running for 1 minute or running for 2 minutes or running for 3 minutes. It all is in listening to your body. Then you're going to go on to stage 5 or weeks 5 and 6. And again, you don't have to follow this step by step. If you wind up taking a little bit longer time in the other weeks, that's fine. Don't progress till stage 3 until you feel 100% in stage 2. So this week's about holding the pace and running for solid for 30 minutes. There's no intervals at this one. You're going to still stay at your normal 90 seconds slower than your 10K pace, but you want to run, is it 2 days, is it 3 days, is it whatever, a week, and make sure that you're staying at that running for 30 minutes. You want to run 30 minutes solid. Now, this is a lot of times where people get hung up and can't get past this stage, for 4, 5, 6 weeks. That's okay. I only put 2 weeks down here because that's where if you feel good after 2 weeks, you can move on. But don't think that everybody does after 2 weeks. I made stage 4 a little bit longer because this is where you're going to increase your running duration and frequency. Again, we're keeping the intensity the same, but you're going to increase the duration and the frequency. You're going to increase the duration about 15 minutes a week. Wherever you want to do that, that's fine. Maybe it's 5 extra minutes. Maybe it's an extra day where you're running 15 minutes. But don't increase it too much, okay? You don't just add another half-hour run. That's about 3 miles extra, maybe 2 miles, maybe 1.5 miles. Either way, that's a little bit too much to increase in a week. But this is where you're going to increase that duration and that frequency. Again, this can be week 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, however long it's going to take you. And then finally, we get into weeks 10 and beyond. This is where you start to increase your intensity. So increasing your intensity, allowing your body to slowly become used to running faster and running faster speeds. This is where it happens. Make sure you're at the exact frequency and duration that you want to be at. Then your body can start accepting a little bit more. But with this, do not increase the intensity too quickly where you're going to have some issues. Again, this is going to be an infographic. It's going to be up on our website, www.totalperformancept.com. It's going to be on our Facebook page. But this is going to allow you just some guidance on how you can return to running after injury. If you or anyone you know is suffering from pain and wants a free consultation with a doctor of physical therapy, all you have to do is call our office at 215-997-9898, and we'd be happy to get you in. Thanks, and have a good night.